Hello everyone, I am SwordCailiburn687, and today I would talk about Sonic X Shadow Generations. Before this video starts, smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's begin the video. I do like Knuckles' character, and I think that he would be a really fun character to play as in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Knuckles is a really popular Sonic character, and his popularity skyrocketed from the Sonic movies. Him being played by Idris Elba further elevates the character, and I think that Knuckles now would be the third most popular Sonic character. Don't get me wrong, I think that Sonic and Shadow would be number 1 or 2, depending on some fans' lists of what's their favorite Sonic characters, but Knuckles being number 3, it is not that bad. And for heck's sakes, Knuckles even has his own TV show. I think that Knuckles and other Sonic characters should be DLC in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Let's talk about Knuckles' character in the Sonic games and why he should be playable in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Knuckles the Echidna, he is the last surviving member of the Echidna tribe, and he is the guardian of the Master Emerald. Knuckles guards the Master Emerald to make sure nobody to steal it, and Knuckles guards the Master Emerald for the sake of his people. Knuckles later finds out the truth about his ancestors with the help of Tikal and what they would try to use the Master Emerald for and the Chaos Emeralds. Knuckles' ancestors would try to use the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds for conquering other civilizations. I would like Knuckles Generations to focus on Knuckles' character development, and Knuckles should rediscover why he should be the guardian of the Master Emerald. The things that was never explored in the Sonic games, when Knuckles protects the Master Emerald, does Knuckles like protecting the Master Emerald all the time, or he doesn't? I think Knuckles does like protecting the Master Emerald sometimes, all because he can make friends with the animals on Angel Island. But I can see Knuckles also hating the job too. For Knuckles Generations, I would want modern Knuckles to team up with classic Knuckles. It would be cool seeing the interaction between modern Knuckles and classic Knuckles. I think that the story for Knuckles Generations, it should take place after Sonic Frontiers. The reason why I want Knuckles Generations to take place after Sonic Frontiers, it is because of the Starfall Islands. In Sonic Frontiers, the Starfall Islands are named after Titans and Greek and Roman gods. What's the biggest mystery of the Starfall Islands? There might be a 6th Starfall Island. There is some Sonic fans that data mine Sonic Frontiers, and what they believe is a 6th Starfall Island, it might have been the Ancient World Ship. The Ancient World Ship, it was probably scrapped during the development of Sonic Frontiers, maybe because Sonic Team didn't want the Ancient World Ship to be the 6th Starfall Island. I know that a lot of Sonic fans would really want the Ancient World Ship to be the 6th Starfall Island, but there is already a 6th Starfall Island. And the 6th Starfall Island, it is not in the game of Sonic Frontiers. For anyone that's watched the Sonic Frontiers animation, the 6th Starfall Island, it is Angel Island. Knuckles has found a portal here in Sky Century, And what happens after that? He is teleported into cyberspace. For anyone that plays Sonic Frontiers, the portal gears only exist on the Starfall Islands. I think for the ancients, Angel Island had a different name in the past. And what would the name be for Angel Island for the ancients? I think that the name for Angel Island for the ancients, it might be the Island of Zeus. What is the biggest mystery in Sonic Frontiers? Did the Echidna tribe live on Angel Island before the ancients or after the ancients? I think that the Echidna tribe and the ancients having some sort of connection, it would kind of make sense, and it would fit in within Sonic lore. If Angel Island is a Starfall Island, it probably does have a Titan. What would the Titan be? Would it be the dragon that they hinted in the prophecy for Sonic, Free, and Knuckles? I know that it is in the Japanese instruction manual for Sonic, Free, and Knuckles, and the Echidna tribe misinterprets the prophecy, but a guy can dream. Having a Dragon Titan would be awesome in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and imagine the possibilities of facing that fame. I hope that we can explore more of the mysteries of Angel Island with Knuckles in Sonic X Shadow Generations. I think that Knuckles' movement should be like Sonic Frontiers, but better. For Knuckles' gliding, it should be like Sonic Frontiers with the Final Horizon update and Sonic Dream Team. In Sonic Dream Team, Knuckles' gliding has a lot of air drag, and he falls down the air quickly. My idea for Knuckles' gliding in Sonic X Shadow Generations, it would have a stamina meter. I think that my idea for Knuckles having a stamina meter with his gliding, it is a good idea. Knuckles having restrictions with his gliding, it would make it easier having linear levels in 3D. The reason why Knuckles didn't have any 3D linear levels in the adventure games, it is because Knuckles' gliding mechanic in Sonic Adventure, it is extremely broken. I would imagine if Knuckles had 3D linear levels like Sonic, his gliding would break the game. It would make sense why Knuckles didn't have any linear levels, but Sega didn't do the same thing with Tails. Tails in SA1 does have linear levels, but his flying is extremely broken. After Sonic Adventure 1, Sega did put restrictions with Tails' flying in 3D. I know that there would be some Sonic fans that would hate my idea of Knuckles having a stamina meter with his gliding, but if Knuckles is playable with linear levels, it would be extremely fun. Knuckles, for my idea, he won't move as fast as Sonic or Shadow. Even though my ideas, Knuckles won't move as fast as Sonic or Shadow, but he would make up for it in other ways. I would want Knuckles to have more combat compared to Sonic and Shadow. I would want Knuckles' combat to be a blend from Sonic Frontiers and the adventure games. The problem with Sonic Frontiers combat with Knuckles, his combat is extremely slow. I would like Sega to add more movesets in Knuckles' arsenal, and it should be better than Sonic Frontiers, and Shadow Generations. I would want Knuckles to have a 4-hit combo and his uppercut from SA2. I am done talking about Knuckles' character and his gameplay. Let's transition and talk about stages. I would compare all the stages that Knuckles has been in Sonic X Shadow Generations, just to compare which stages might make it in the game. One rule I would add for stages, it has to be from mainline Sonic games and not filler Sonic games. No spin-off Sonic games like Sonic the Fighters and Sonic Drift. For each and every era that Knuckles has been in a Sonic game, I do have to talk about boss fights and characters he might save from white space. Knuckles was first introduced in Sonic 3, so there's a lot of good stages for his character. Sonic 3 has a lot of good stages in the game, like Ice Cap Zone and Hydra City Zone. The stage that would show up for Knuckles with Sonic 3, it would be Angel Island. Classic Knuckles would have the jungle parts of Angel Island, while modern Knuckles, he would have the temple areas of Angel Island. With modern Knuckles with Angel Island, I would want it to be based on from Sonic Advance. Since Angel Island, it would be a beginning stage in Knuckles Generations. It won't be too hard, all because it would be easy. Angel Island, it would sum up the backstory for Knuckles' character, and Angel Island would tell new Sonic audiences why it is important to Knuckles. Let's talk about the first Sonic game that Knuckles was playable in, which is Sonic and Knuckles. There is a lot of good stages in Sonic and Knuckles, like Flying Battery Zone and Sandopolis. The two possible stages that might be in Knuckles Generations, it might be Lava Reef Zone and Mushroom Hill Zone. Mushroom Hill Zone could be in Sonic X Shadow Generations. It is because of the Sonic movies. The Mushroom Planet in the Sonic movies, it is made only for a joke in the movies, and it is hilarious. I can see Sega adding this stage in Knuckles Generations. It is because a lot of movie fans and a lot of classic fans would really want this stage in Knuckles Generations. Mushroom Hill Zone is also in the 3DS version of Sonic Generations, so I think that Sega would reuse the 3DS music of Mushroom Hill Zone. I can imagine this stage in Knuckles Generations, but I do not want this stage. The stage I would want from Sonic and Knuckles, it is Lava Reef Zone. Lava Reef Zone, it is an underground cavern, and it has a lot of lava in the stage. Lava Reef Zone, it is connected to Hidden Palace, and Sega should connect both of these stages together. Hidden Palace Zone, it is the stage where Knuckles first meets Dr. Eggman, and is also tricked by him. Dr. Eggman convinces Knuckles that Sonic is harming Angel Island and wants to steal the Master Emerald from him. Because Knuckles believes that Sonic is the bad guy, he teams up with Dr. Eggman just to get rid of Sonic and Tails. Hidden Palace is where Dr. Eggman betrayed Knuckles, and it has a lot of story significance to this location. Lava Reef Zone is also in Sonic Mania, and I would pick any version of this stage. The only boss fight I would want from the Genesis era with Knuckles, it would be Mecha Sonic. It would be cool if we face off against Mecha Sonic and he can transform into his super transformation. Mecha Sonic only transforms into his super transformation when he stole the power of the Master Emerald. A cool detail I would want for the boss fight, when you face off against Mecha Sonic, Angel Island, it would tilt in the background. We're done with some of the classic era of Sonic games. Let's transition into the adventure era. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, it is where Knuckles' gameplay is much different from the classic interpretation to his character. I am going to talk about Knuckles' new gameplay from the Adventure era, which are the treasure hunting missions. In SA1, how the treasure hunting missions is designed by Sonic Team, the treasure hunting missions, it is a small portions of Sonic's levels, and it is slightly changed for Knuckles. In both adventure games, you have a treasure hunting radar, so you can find both Master Emerald pieces. In Sonic Adventure, the treasure hunting missions are easy, all because you can find the Master Emerald pieces out of order. How do I think that Sega would turn a treasure hunting mission stage into a level in Sonic X Shadow Generations? It would be extremely easy. All Sega needs to do, it is adapt Sonic's levels from SA1 and change it for Knuckles. I think adapting an SA1 stage for Knuckles, it won't be that hard. All Sega needs to do for an SA1 stage to be playable, it is to make it linear. The two levels from Sonic Adventure that might make it in Knuckles Generations, it might be Lost World and Red Mountain. Red Mountain, it is a fun location in Sonic Adventure, and I do like the level. I think that Red Mountain would be a really cool stage in Knuckles Generations, but I don't think it would be in the game. The stage that might be in Knuckles Generations, it might be the Lost World stage. Not to be confused by the other Sonic game, which is Sonic Lost World. Lost World in Sonic Adventure, it is the Echidna Temple. It would be kind of funny if Sega renamed this stage Lost Temple, all because it would bring less confusion from Sonic Lost World. Lost World, it is a stage that is significant to Sonic and Knuckles' story. The reason why this stage is important, it is because Sonic and Knuckles, they finally figure out how did the Echidna tribe got wiped out. It is not a shocker for anybody that played Sonic Adventure. The creature that wiped out most of the Echidna tribe, it is Chaos. Chaos should also be a boss fight for Knuckles, and it would be awesome. Any of the Chaos forms would be fine for Knuckles, except for the final form. We're done talking about Sonic Adventure. Let's talk about Sonic Adventure 2. In Sonic Adventure 2, collecting the Master Emerald pieces, it is much worse compared to Adventure 1. Sega did listen to feedback on what some Sonic fans had issues with the treasure hunting missions, but in doing so, they made the treasure hunting missions worse. The reason why the treasure hunting missions, it is much worse compared to Adventure 1, it is because of the treasure hunting radar. In SA2, how the treasure hunting missions works, you do have to collect the Master Emerald pieces in order. If you don't find the Master Emerald pieces in order, the treasure hunting missions, it would take longer. The first 2 levels with Knuckles treasure hunting missions, it is not the worst levels in the game, but after that, the levels become much worse. Because the later treasure hunting stages get bigger, the radar gets worse. The biggest example of a treasure hunting mission sucking, it is Mad Space. Unlike Sonic Adventure 1, SA2's treasure hunting mission levels, it is not reusing Sonic's level design. If Sega does a SA2 treasure hunting stage, they would have to remake it from scratch. The 2 stages that might make it in Knuckles Generations, it is Wild Canyon and Pumpkin Hill. The stage from Sonic Adventure 2 that I would want in Sonic X Shadow Generations, it would be Pumpkin Hill. Sonic Generations doesn't have a Halloween stage in the game, and Pumpkin Hill would be a great stage. A lot of Sonic fans like the Pumpkin Hill rap, and there should be a remix in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Because this music, it is popular with a lot of Sonic fans, I would want it in the game. Pumpkin Hill, it would be an easier stage to do for Knuckles. It is because of Skyrail. Pumpkin Hill and Skyrail, it is in the same location if you look at the Sonic Adventure 2 map. Knuckles' rival fight from SA2, it would be Rouge. I would want a Rouge boss fight to be better than Sonic Adventure 2. Knuckles' boss fights from Sonic Adventure 2, it would be King Boom Boom. Fighting a ghost with Knuckles, it would be really cool in Sonic X Shadow Generations. The last stages from the Adventure era, it would be from Sonic Heroes. The one Sonic stage that I would want from Sonic Heroes, it would be Egg Fleet. A lot of Sonic fans would really want Egg Fleet in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and I think that it would be an awesome stage. Boss fight for the Heroes era, it would be the Egg Emperor. The Egg Emperor is in the 3DS version of Sonic Generations, and he would be a really cool boss fight. We're done talking about stages from the Adventure era. Let's transition into the other eras of Sonic. With the Dark Age era of Sonic, Knuckles didn't have that much importance in the stories. Knuckles was sidelined in Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog. Knuckles was playable in Sonic 06, but he only had 3 stages that he was playable in. The Sonic 06 stages that Knuckles was playable in, he was playable in Tropical Jungle, Aquatic Base, and Flame Pool. The stage I would give Knuckles, it would be Flame Pool. I don't really have anything else to say about Sonic 06. Let's transition into Sonic Rivals. Sonic Rivals isn't the Sonic game I really care for, and it does take place after Sonic 06. The only thing that is interesting in Sonic Rivals' story, it is Angel Island. In Sonic Rivals' story, Eggman's grandson, he completely alters Angel Island. Eggman's grandson completely warped Angel Island in the future, and he brought it in the present Sonic timeline. It is hard to debate if these games are canon. If the Sonic Rivals games are canon, it is whatever, but I don't really care. I don't think that any rival stage would be in Sonic X Shadow Generations. The only stage I think would be in the game, it is Crystal Mountain Zone. What Crystal Mountain Zone is, it is Ice Cap Zone in the future. I can see Sega warping Ice Cap Zone and Crystal Mountain Zone into one stage. And now, let's talk about Sonic Rivals 2. Sonic Rivals 2 story, it is pretty much like the first game, but with some differences. Sonic Rivals 2, Knuckles teams up with Rouge, and this is the last Sonic game he teams up with her. Knuckles and Rouge in Sonic Rivals 2 story, they work together in order to find the Master Emerald. A stage I would want in Sonic Rivals 2, it would be Blue Coast Zone. Blue Coast Zone, it is a location where Knuckles first teams up with Rouge in the game story for Sonic Rivals 2. And this location is also where Knuckles races against Sonic and wants to compete with him. The reason why they compete, it is kinda stupid. It is because Knuckles wants to get to Dr. Eggman before Sonic does in the game story. Knuckles believes that Dr. Eggman might know where the Master Emerald is, but Knuckles competing against Sonic, it doesn't make any sense. Knuckles and Sonic work together in multiple Sonic games. It doesn't make any sense why they would see each other as enemies. Shouldn't Knuckles and Sonic work together to stop Dr. Eggman? It is Sonic Rivals 2, but the stories for Rivals is pretty bad. The final boss fight for Knuckles, it would be the Ifrit boss fight. Ifrit does look like Iblis, but Knuckles has faced this fire creature in the game. The Knuckles TV show also referenced Knuckles facing off against a giant fire creature, and people think that this fire monster, it is Iblis. I think that the Knuckles TV show with that fire creature, I think that it is a reference to Sonic 06 and Sonic Rivals 2. Having a boss fight with a giant fire dragon creature, it would be pretty spectacular. I have said enough about the Rivals games. Let's talk about Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania barely has a story like in the classic games, but the story that is there, it is really interesting. All of the characters have to team up just to beat the hard-boiled heavies. The biggest example, it is Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles working together, but Knuckles gets separated in the story. One of the hard-boiled heavies hits Knuckles off the tornado, and he gets his own act in Mirage Saloon. Mirage Saloon, it would be a great stage for Knuckles, but I have my own idea on what stage from Sonic Mania that I would want in Sonic X Shadow Generations. The stage from Sonic Mania that I would want in Sonic X Shadow Generations, it would be Press Garden. Press Garden, it is a really fun stage in Sonic Mania, and it is an original stage in the game. Act 1 for Press Garden, it is a newspaper factory, but Act 2 is when the stage is different. Act 2 for Press Garden, it is a snow/winter stage, and it is really awesome. I hope that Press Garden would be in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and it would be a wonderful stage. I am done talking about Sonic Mania. Now let's talk about Sonic Forces. Knuckles wasn't playable in Sonic Forces and he only leads the resistance group. The only stage I think that it would be playable for Knuckles, it is the Eggman Empire Fortress. The axe has different names depending on the character. For modern Sonic, the axe for Eggman Empire Fortress, it is called Mortar Canyon. For classic Sonic, it is called Iron Fortress. And last, the custom characters level, it is called Imperial Tower. I think that this stage would be good for Knuckles. It is because he led the Resistance Army and fought the Eggman Empire. With modern Sonic's version of the Eggman Empire Fortress, which is called the Mortar Canyon, it is one of the best levels in the game, all because the level is fully 3D. Modern Sonic in Mortar Canyon has a really cool air boost section, and the air boost section, it is really awesome. I can see Sega tweaking this stage for Knuckles' gliding. All Sega really needs to do for Mortar Canyon, it is to add more traps and obstacles, and bottomless pits for Knuckles. I think that the character that should be saved from white space, it should be one of Knuckles' soldiers. I think that Sega won't add the custom character for obvious reasons. Since he is an avatar, he won't be playable in Sonic Generations. I have said enough about Sonic Forces. Let's transition into Frontiers. There would be only one Sonic Frontier stage for Knuckles. It would be Ares Island. Ares Island, it is the most favorite stage in Sonic Frontiers, and a lot of Sonic fans would really want this stage as DLC in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Ares Island builds on the idea of Knuckles being a leader in Sonic Forces, and it is really cool character development for Knuckles. Knuckles does form a bond with the Coco in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and they should be in the game. What is cool about Ares Island? It is a desert island, and it has a lot of really cool terrain in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Ares Island has a lot of rocky terrain, and I imagine that this stage would be good with Knuckles' gliding and his climbing mechanic. The final stage for Knuckles in Sonic X Shadow Generations, it would be the Golden Capital. The Golden Capital, it would be Knuckles' version of the casino level, and it would be really cool in Sonic X Shadow Generations. What the Gold Capital is based on, it is based on El Dorado. El Dorado, it is a myth, and it isn't real. And according to the legend, it is an ancient city that can't be found in Central America. The reason why people want to find this city, it is believed it has tons of gold. I mean, for heck's sakes, even DreamWorks made a movie about El Dorado, which is so cool. It does make sense why you get a lot of rings in this stage, all because it is the biggest reference to El Dorado. The Golden Capital, it is where Trip's civilization lived before the civilization got wiped out by a dragon. I think that the character we should save from white space, it would be Trip. Saving Trip from white space, it would kinda make sense for Knuckles' character. Both Knuckles and Trip are the last surviving remnants of their race, and it would be cool for Knuckles to see Trip again. I don't have anything else to say about Knuckles in Sonic X Shadow Generations. I think this would be a good point to end the video. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, but also leave a comment below if you guys really want to see more of my content. Anyway, see you guys soon.